Another week come and gone, and it's Wednesday once again. This past weekend, I drove to my parents' house to spend the weekend with them. It's about a 4-hour drive, so I often need a lot of music to listen to, or a book, or something like that. And since this past week filming has started for the Fault in Our Stars movie, it's just gotten me really in the mood for reading the book again. If you don't know the book, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green is amazing. John is one of my favorite authors. He's also what got me really into YouTube and into vlogging myself. So if you don't know about John Green or the Vlogbrothers, please check them out. They're so great. It's funny because one of the things that this book talks about is how books seem to fall into two categories. One that once you read it, you just feel the need to evangelize it. You feel the need to tell everybody that they have to read it. And books that are so personal that you don't want to share them. It's weird because this book falls into both categories. I listened to this book on my way to and from my parents' house. After I listened to half of it on the way there was like a whole bunch of things I wanted to talk about in this video. But then listening to the second half on the way back today, I got a whole other idea. So I'm going to read you this quote towards the end. Okay, there's a character mentioned in this quote that the main character, Hazel, has a few not particularly great interactions with, so that's who she's referring to in this. I kept thinking there were two kinds of adults. There were Peter Van Houtens, miserable creatures who scoured the earth in search of something to hurt, and then there were people like my parents, who walked around zombically, doing whatever they had to do to keep walking around. Neither of these futures struck me as particularly desirable. That really struck me because I feel the same way. I think working for a big corporation, it didn't necessarily hurt people, but it didn't necessarily help people either, and that bothered me a lot. And I think, too, just walking around doing what I can to survive sounds so awful. I feel like there's more to life than just getting through it. So that's what really bothered me. And I came home. In my mail was some information from the unemployment insurance saying that I had qualified, but that I needed to go in for a meeting with their career center to talk about my career goals and how I can better find a job. And I had to go into my online account and do sort of a job search plan, what I was going to do, who I was going to network with to get a job as quickly as possible. And it's just so cut and dry. It's ask what was my last job and what would be my preferred job in the future. And I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure it has a job title right now. So that was really frustrating, filling that out. It just seemed so generic and so impersonal, and that's not what I want. I don't know what I want. So it's really frustrating. I understand that they don't want to keep paying unemployment to somebody who's not doing anything, and that's not my intention. It's just my intention is to be pickier. It's to not just get any job at all costs. The other thing is that in yesterday's Vlogbrothers video, John talked about the Affordable Care Act and just about health insurance in our capitalist society, and one thing that he said was, career decisions should be about finding the place where your talents meet the world's needs, not about finding the place where you can get health insurance. I feel like that's exactly it. That's exactly what I'm aiming toward. I'm trying to figure out what my talents are and how they can best meet the world's needs and my happiness, and not just to find a full-time job, to have a job and to be insured and to be paid well. Yes, it sucks not having money. It sucks a lot, but it also really sucks when your job is so terrible that it's affecting your mental and physical health. So that is not what I want, and that's not what I'm looking for. So hopefully I can find that without too much trouble, but the journey is only beginning. So thanks for watching. See you next week.